Hi guys, it's Lynn here. I hope everyone is having a blooming wonderful day. Now today in this video we're talking to you about Cactus Bud Blast and why it happens. Now I'm going to show you, these are some of our Echinopsis cactus plants, and this is a very good one to give you a bit of an example with. And there's many reasons why cactus plants will suddenly just drop off their buds when they're ready to open. And it's very common that this happens. And I'm going to give you the main reasons why now. Now I have already made a video on cactus and succulent bud drop and why it happens. And I'll link that video down below in the video description. So do check that one out as well. And I'll also link the video, the link will also be in the links up above. And this is just a bit of a recap on why it happens, while I've got quite a lot of cacti all in bud here. And basically it can happen with any type of cactus plant. If you've got cactus plants and they're coming into bud, this can happen, doesn't matter what type of cacti you've got. So these are the main reasons, guys. And first one is down to the lighting. Now obviously when you're growing cactus plants, they rely on the day length to flower, and if they're suddenly getting lots of sunshine, and that's great for producing buds, especially with these are Echinopsis cacti here. And then if you get a series of very sunny days and they're forming buds, and then suddenly you get a few days of grey overcast weather, that's enough to suddenly make the buds drop off. And that's one of the very common reasons. Unfortunately, we can't control the weather. So if you have plants in a windowsill, in a greenhouse, when here in the polytunnel, sadly that can happen. And some cacti are very prone to it. As I say, the Echinopsis here often produce, they go in a really bud production when we get the good sunny weather, and then as soon as we get a few days of grey, they drop off. That's one that's dropped off here, and that's why I thought I'd make this video just to mention that. So one is down to the lighting, and that is really out of your control if that's the case. The second one is the temperature. People don't realise how much the temperature can make a big difference to cactus bud drop. But if you've got plants, especially if they're outdoors, and you've had a series of very warm weather as well as sunny weather, and then it suddenly goes very sort of cold and overcast again, the sudden drop in temperature can cause the buds to drop off. And this is especially more the case when you have them outdoors or you have them in greenhouses or polytunnels. So temperature, a big difference in temperature can make a big difference to the bud drop. The other thing is also moving. The third one, be moving your cacti. And it's very tempting when you see your cactus plants in bud, as in this case here, to think, oh, I'm going to move it inside the house or move it to a different position where you're going to be able to enjoy the blooms. Now this is okay if it's absolutely either flowering or it's just about ready to flower. You can move them in and enjoy them in the house. But if it's forming buds, as in this case here, if I was to move this then into a different position, even I find a different position in the polytunnel, I find the buds often drop off. So once they form buds, don't move them, and certainly don't move your plants around. I know a lot of people will turn them around regularly so the plant doesn't grow towards the light. But when they are producing buds, it's best to leave them, because this is a real major thing for bud drop. And I've been guilty of it myself. I'm always rearranging things in the polytunnel. I think, oh, it's in bud, it's going to be okay, I'll move that one over there. And then I find a week later or so the buds drop off. It's just one of them things. So if it's in bud, leave it alone. Now the next one will be too many buds. That might sound strange, but as I mentioned in my other video about cactus and succulent bud drop and why it happens, if you have a cactus that has multiple buds here, okay, it's great, and there's many times that they can all open, but often the energy is going towards, the plant's energy is going towards all of the buds, and it's quite common for them to drop buds off, so the energy can go to the other buds. So if you have a load of buds on and some drop off and some on, and some stay on, often this is the case, the energy is going towards the other ones on there. And this is what often happens with a lot of cacti in general, and I mentioned that in my other video, cactus and succulent bud drop, so do check that out. As I say, links will be up above and down below in the video description. And last but not least, over and under watering. Now, believe it or not, people think, oh, cacti, you don't have to worry about watering them. But when they are coming into bud, they are actively growing. And if you leave them too dry for too long, especially in very warm, hot weather, they can drop the buds. This is very common. And also the other way around as well, if you're keeping them permanently wet, watering them all the time and they're very damp, this can also encourage bud drop. So also another thing to probably mention is, as well as the watering, is also the air humidity. If it's very damp and humid, as in this case, we're here in Ireland and the Polytunnel at the moment, we're having some lovely sunny, dry, warm weather, so it's nice and dry. But if we to suddenly have another series of sort of damp, very sort of humid weather, then that high humidity can also mess with the buds as well. But that's not necessarily a high cause of bud drop. I find it's usually either over or under watering. So there's a lot of things you have to take into account when it's forming buds, and that is a bit of the mystery to why your cactus plants drop buds. So I hope you found that useful, guys, and hopefully you'll have lots and lots of blooms on your cacti. And if you want to know how to get your cacti and succulent plants to flower, then do check out a video I've made on how to get your cacti and succulent plants to flower. Links also up above and down below in the video description. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, then please do check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe and don't forget to click that notification bell. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of flower power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye! I'm just going to finish with a bit of flower power. These are gymnocalciums just starting to open today.